James Goodwin is a poet studying for a PhD in English and Humanities at Birkbeck, University of London. His poems are online at Intercapillary Space and Datableed, and in print in Splinter, Zarf, Paratext, No Prizes, and the Berkeley Poetry Review. James?
I'm not actually good. I don't think I'm going to be that long. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah. No? Yeah. Speak a bit to the microphone. Is that it? Yeah. I can hear myself. Okay, so this is Compositions for Friends. It's in 5 parts, but I have 3 epigraphs and a kind of like thought or statement on breath, but we're just kind of a running kind of substance throughout the text, but it's not. I haven't rendered it in that way. So the first epigraph is from Fred Moten, from his essay Black Topological Existence, which is in Arthur Jafer's book, a series of utterly improbable yet extraordinary renditions. To see the earth is to see as earth, such earthly subjectless seeing, in its radical refusal of a point of view in favour of a general inhabitation and enactment of a view from nowhere. The second is from Hannah Black's book, Dark Pool Party. When we're no one, we're nowhere, but we travel in hopes of finding a place to stay still, or someone to stay still with. And as soon as we've found it, we move again, because it must at least be possible that never moving is the same as always moving, and we believe our nothingness to be constitutive. And the last one is a poem by Jude Jordan, called Poem Number 2 on Bell's Theorem, or the New Physicality of Long-Distance Love. There is no chance that we will fall apart. There is no chance, there are no parts. This is the statement, the thought. Provocation. The relation between content and context coalesces in the preservation of their deformation by breath. Breath is emanation, social, impure, formless, and felt. Its poetry emanates from its decay of form. Socio-poetic breath is the preservation of decay, the decay of a formal relation that fixes the separation of the ontological differences between content and context. The syntax and cadences fold, turn, slur, and spin them into misrecognition. This is the discomposition of socio-poetic breath, and discomposition isn't D-I-S, but D-Y-S, so a bad composition. This is the discomposition of socio-poetic breath, given in the emanation of the social life of poetry. 1. No talk of these airs when our mind makes a thing it looks in everything. Airs conjecture scant with everything full of scansion, but hasn't heard all the touchscreen of the earth go random access down to the habitual sun in the orb. What gives itself away as something to pass on, gets excited going jungle on approach, lays cadence, free flow, touch, puller, and look at the lay the moment came contesting filiation met from present pastness, so it danced it. Step in and tech when we started, all round checking we tech when we guarded, immaterial, rewinding, cut back, livened, knows the lay we vibe, we look at what our vibe was going to do with the constant attention, melling with us in bulk. Ways incandescent to passing unofficially, pour our candor from the point we crowded something we clipped in, springing sensitivity to the edge compounded more incensed, brought to an incandescent pitch, still broadly scattered on acacia. All breath a loxodrome on the run, soon come with them we came for them, fleshed out for all the corners of the slip into dispossession, coming together from listening out for our ends and our tendency to fray, where our talk makes sense as nonsense meant by moving. Love and decay, like a nursery we wake ourselves back from, the sounds of which turn less emblematic. Dusk is a playful city, we catch how we think what we do to see us chat upon rhythm and hold it down. Exactly what we meant by daylighting each other's excess of emanated air of preservation couldn't get at if we really had it. There's some air in friends in earth treble cleft to gather how small our things can leave us, and chime all our mishearings heard all the same with the end note run off through we friends caught in a frenzy. Nobody knew what way though. We over there like we never had to try it like this. Move what we build like this with no one to claim it. Made us do it better, misshapen in memory, casted in overbright. 2. Of the things we haven't claimed half as well as we saw them, displaced for them to be gifted from nowhere, a real thing we can't say is our run of irremediable felt on us altogether with these amplifications we didn't want. Our living can't come through doing what always feels like love for somewhere to clear our inhabitation of the means as something to pass on all the scene. Iris flecks on the irony of the world, our disappearance imagining elsewhere the rhythm and severance towards the thing as felt dwells on, to forget us in a heap we know comes over forgotten, that we might have to barely get at it. Everything done already, we tarry but really quiet, trying not to say much inner bound to out, already remembered absent beside ourselves, yet who we are. Hear the malaise of what we've let each other preamble with the impoverished of faith. A mascara brush, the shape of a run line. Breath as exalted earth, reading its incantations left open with the settler's romance of with escape, stays sown in corruption unprotected. We elements send to row our written wares, but what if our intentionalities are self-determining, turning inanimation in on itself? Can't decant the vibe black brings without trying. Grandma isn't dead without me. Segue thing on production if our loxodromic cut runs obliquely with the wave of the sea. The ship of what it feels in the cut didn't set the low end differential dead on a calm that keeps talking at the late Arcadia of events left laced over momentarily caught clasped in a sling we slung them in. Sound is where we got caught in between body and flesh. Air left husk, nothing if not softly spoken hull, but containing all of arc and attendance, late continuation with what it came with spoke of us. Grandma didn't dive, but wasn't given all of what was to remain offset ahead of the role she sung them switching up to the weather stood bumpy. Directions siphoned all automatically more look around. Flotsam on mantle, a whole stratification went dense to coalescence under. Rested on viola turning snare, erring on run-up. Arrows just as much meridian as stage replete when our spray hits them back from the navel. 3. They say about all that never happened had over-opt crossed our minds. At the end of our lambasting breathing redact is out of what stood, if it was said all the time in no time at all, that we misheard something about the future being unequal with all that we get from the sprays of the trawler's liquidated centre, redressing the universal as dialectical vertigo. Everything our manoeuvres began with our origin, made more how we leave us sweating apparels to seeing we weren't each other's diocese, that reached the diocese feeling for them Gypsopedia's thought never known crossed our minds. Over the bow shock sees them accosting, bustling cut off from way back to the Nile. Half set up on a calm, lowing relay 11:11 dance floor gone, all this analyric nose rode on. The substance of the background, nothing talked unassailable to run it in, left out on the lick. It's not long, it's very quick. Worked us off, came held, lost us off whatever we renamed the next set listening to hold our airs tight across exegetical noise. Few dreads siloed, we who come where we stayed goes on as we sit. No illusion upon the stair, this level of opacity we get together to jet. A new time, for let's not go there from until it's all over. Only again if we said it, edging out our understanding, this anywhere but who we are, stop entering to swindle of tall that parables full of dread dripping. We drop on a tired thing in between breathing, we can't come recovering back, the sycamores lit into altarpieces. 4. From some violet marked as a private slur on anything like it, about actual tools we're trying to read like the thing we're reading is getting away from us, that we really never set by fish souls. Held employee we dismantled just as emanated without abandon, confugative with run line like something on the run for the fun of it. Smoothing out on a lean on mishearing who we are, that we in touch with never so much we them around a suitable major or satins of the loop. Threads of old new wheeling, anything grasped any war under the seams unfurling at war with the transcendental. We don't always know what made the curvilinear. One way in which we come, which is all that's left for flesh to remember, with love as more of the middle sounding nothing like its cadence. In surcease, a kind of rest. Don't forget the body in this emoting, for phlogiston to make it back through the tenses. We don't know how much we love content to be around us. The lows and recessions we almost have to taste what the realness gets in its aspects caught in a headspace we're in. The language with its axis on the side moves ash and erosion from weight to tone on jokes. Then gets back because air isn't common property. It becomes crystalline itself, whacked cool from the lips, daydreamed at how much set we felt to have already taken the place of long seashell immersions. Move impressed what we call scheming meant this is how we feel cute, meaning feeling it can't protect how we deform. 5. Get to the table worn laxing long before laxing. We watch outside underneath the shape of a rung, another lyric brought down in a sunbeam in so many variegated lings with the swinging by the wake of the tambourine. Get home, straight away swing to the spin of a flower pot on the kitchen counter. 8 minutes for some marinated salmon and its sun. It was okay for us to be alone, but how to tell things on the move with the same content. That's it.